Good morning, beautiful family in the light. Let me just make sure my sound is well here. Good afternoon. Blessed day to all of you. Trusting all of you are doing really, really well. I wanted to just come on today and sort of share this curiosity of the state of presence when we are in this presence of achieving versus being. Hello, Demetrius, much love. And I wanted to find out this achieving energy versus being energy. What does it feel like in the body? What does it feel like in our presence? And where are we when we are in the achieving consciousness? And where are we when we are in the being consciousness? In this many days that I have taken off and being in this presence of silence and daily meditation, being in stillness and quietness, and withdrawn from social media, journaling, in nature, there's so much that is just being in my presence where I've gotten a chance to sit with and explore. And this curiosity regarding achieving versus beingness really came to my field today. And I was remembering that whatever in this incarnation that I really say wanted, and I set my mind to it, I really just made it happen. And there was this energy of the past where it brought a lot of joy to me. If I wanted, I needed to make sure it happened. The second there's an idea that came and I felt I wanted, I need to make it happen, I would just go for it. And I was considered this go-getter, and I would be sure it became a reality. And there was never this sort of like barrier in front of me where how I'm going to get it done. Nothing. If I thought it and I felt it, I made sure I also made it happen. And there was a lot of excitement around this energy. There was a lot of adrenaline rush. There was a lot of arousal, what we would say. There was also this deep feeling of satisfaction because there was a delivery, an outcome of that in which I imagined, that in which excited me, and that which I was able to bring into fruition. Whatever it was, whether it was like my first car or my first job or, the first house, and whatever it was, I just made it happen. And there was this sense of sort of a flow with it, I would say, and kind of came to me easy. There wasn't a challenge around that. And being in this consciousness, looking back, I'm able to also see what would happen to my body, because for so many years I've been a bit disconnected from my body. Naturally, I died 10 years ago. And then since then, I've had to learn about my body, and nothing like this past 2 months that has brought me to a dead stop so that I can really learn to come into my body and experience life through my body and my bodies. And that's the video that I spoke about last week. And in this place, being in this presence of beingness feels completely different than this vibration of achieving. I don't have any desire to achieve anything at all, like at all. It's a very interesting feeling. And if there was any achievement, would be to be more in this beingness presence. It's like for the first time, I'm discovering what's it like to just be. What's it like to not be of service to others, but be service to me, and discovering how these bodies are communicating. What do these bodies really bring into my field for me to learn, for me to discover, for me to become aware, for me to expand by just sitting in this presence? And what does it feel in my body? The idea of achieving rattles my body now. It doesn't even resonate, because I feel so many years of my life, the focus was also there to achieve and achieve. And I really loved being number one. My brother was older, so I was very competitive with my brother. Whatever he did, I wanted to do even better, because he was the boy and I was the girl. And I was very tomboy, always chasing after him, and I idolized him. And growing up, then naturally things changed, and I also very much enjoyed the being in charge and taking charge, coming from a place where so much of my life had been sort of out of control, out of my hands, and then coming to a place where I began to take charge of my life. And that really began when I was age of 19. That I remember the day I decided to take charge. I'm no longer going to be under the suppression of my family, the culture, the consciousness. I am going to do it differently. And from there, it was this rebellion energy. And I wanted to make sure, for example, there was in this ceramics art, in the whole Maryland, I got like second place. I wanted to be first, but I came second, and I was happy with that. I wanted to, I started my business when I was 19. I went to trade school while I was also in college. And I came out and I wanted to be sure I bought my first Mercedes myself. And I wanted to just tell myself there wasn't anything that I couldn't do. I was able to just start various businesses very early on and put myself also through one of the most expensive universities, which was George Washington University here in Washington, D.C., with no help from my parents, or because they just couldn't anyway. So there was a lot of this achievement, and I did thrive off of that, from this place that nobody was going to tell me I couldn't do anything. And the minute somebody would tell me, well, no, you couldn't, or there would be limitation, I would be sure to show them that was not my reality. So to a point, I even created the first holistic wellness healing spa center in the US back in 2006. I created this all organic, toxin free 350 product line where I was one of the first people that was invited in 2010 to take part in the designers and artists show in Los Angeles, where, let's say, Barney's and Neiman Marcus and Bloomingdale's and Saks Fifth Avenue would come place orders. I mean, there was just so many things that was happening, and I wanted to create things that wasn't created. And part of it was because I was looking for them. They weren't there. So I said, I will just create them. So there's always been this creative energy. And I really love that energy. However, where I am now is as I'm speaking about it, I can feel that rush of energy that was my fuel back then, and it served its purpose. However, where I am now today, at almost 49, and experiencing being in this grace of menopause that is bringing so much wisdom to me, so much, wow, eye-opening, heart-opening. My organs, the way they're communicating to me, and the way I've had to move into my breath to discover me at a whole different place so I can see the world from a different lens. From this lens that was always there, but I was not fully seeing it from here. So I would have also resistance or responses from triggers, or still achieving, and from a place of also not wanting to face certain things, yet kind of covering it up, from excellence and perfection, from a place that was more lack of or empty in my life. So it's very interesting to be a witness to that, and then be in the presence of this beingness and seeing what the vibration difference between achieving and being truly is, and where the soul truly wants to express itself. So I feel in this now, I just, in my bodies, there isn't a vibration that wants to achieve anything. I do enjoy, however, completing certain tasks in the day, like, for example, let's say if it was cleaning up or going for my walk, but it's not from a place of achieving. It's from the place of being in the experience of the walk, being in the experience of the meditation, being in the experience of, say, Michael twice a week is doing acupuncture for my hormonal imbalance. But it's not to achieve it. That means conquer it. That means to overcome something. It's a very different state of presence. So as I am experiencing, I'm also noticing how my body is shifting its consciousness, the way that my emotional body and my mental body and my etheric body and my physical body is in communication with each other, and the way they're interacting in their web of communication, and the way that network is allowing sort of like this detangling when I'm in this presence of the beingness, and there isn't this desire or call or goal or anything to achieve anything. So I have found in this experience of the beingness, there's just the presence which I enjoy just experiencing. And it isn't to conquer it, it isn't to overcome it, and it isn't to fulfill a hole or avoidance or a lack of that was there before. Now, am I completely finished within this place? No, I feel it is quite a bit of a lifetime, However, I feel it will be for a while until more unfolds, as more it detangles through my body. So, hi Angela, hi Carly, so nice to see you all. So the other part I want to share with you, the last 10 days, I have been working with a beautiful sacred friend, naturopath doctor. So we are experiencing this so-called menopause from a very different angle. and it is the communication of my organs. And between Michael, we have a protocol twice a week. Michael works on me Tuesday and Friday. Tuesdays is in front of my body. Fridays is in the back of my body. Then I created this chart where my pH is being looked at very early in the morning, then midday, then evening. So my saliva and urine, and we get to watch this interaction. And then this interaction also has to do with my energies, emotions, mentally what I'm facing, then emotionally, then physically, and get to watch all of it. So today was so beautiful to have a follow-up to see what this 10, 11 days has been, what has been brought into my presence in this beingness. And I noticed that there was this feeling that, wow, this area that was imbalanced, I was able to bring it into a balance. And I was aware it wasn't the energy of achieving where I would really have that before and I would thrive off of it. Yet the energy was much more like, wow, here's the presence that is able to be balanced and the beauty of that balance. So that was really, really wonderful. And I am more and more conscious, especially these past 2 months and a week of transformation. I call it true transformation I've been going through. When I'm meeting every energy in motion, I'm able to be with it. And the more I'm able to be with it without transforming it, without bringing light to it, without cutting it, without course, I'm able to really see all of those things in the past truly are not a permanent solution, because it has to be brought into this emotional body so that the gift of it is received. And then when it moves into the physical body, then it begins to detangle, and whatever association with, say, a trauma that was coming from or signaling from is no longer signaling. The signal has changed. So there is this shift in the body's movement. And so it experiences a lightness and a liberation, because there's no fight with it. So I really have been able to grasp this awareness of whatever on the outside is, say, bringing in information that seems to, let's say, bother us, because that network inside is bringing the information of what wants to detangle and move into its beingness. And so, and there's a process with this. It will not happen overnight. And so now I see, I'm so grateful for all that was before me in this place of desire to achieve. And I did so much of that. I literally, anything that I wanted, I was able to do it. I remember in 1999, I'd gone to Iran to see the great eclipse. It was magnificent. 99 August, I think, 1999, and I was coming back to France and I remember I was in France, my stop was there, and I just decided, you know what, I want to buy myself a Cartier Pasha watch, which was like $4,200. And at that time, I didn't have my kids yet. I was still at GW, and I was making whatever money I wanted. It was like And just because I didn't put any limitation on myself, I could do whatever I want. So I just went, dropped it, and paid for it, and walked out, very happy with it. But it was never money that my parents had given, anything like that. I was just very self-made. And it was this feeling of I could just do whatever I want and I can achieve it. And that rush, like I started speaking about earlier, and that rush gave me a lot of almost like addiction to get more of that arousal and rush. And that took part so many years of my life until I really, as I became older, I recognized that's not the vibration that my soul calls. I am so grateful to the amount of things that I ever material world, let's say I wanted and I made it happen, including the most important one being a mother. I wanted to be a mother, and here I am a mother. And I've moved away from that energy to in this just the experience of the presence of being. And what's that like? What's that like not achieving anything? What's that like for all of that to be removed and for just to be here? What's it like to just breathe and really breathe without it to receive anything other than the breath, and just the way the organs receive the breath, the blood works in the body moves, and just sitting there. So I've been doing this now for 30 some days. Silence daily. I have stopped calling in every guide, every master, every angel, guardians. Everything has stopped. No decree, nothing. And I'm just sitting and I'm silent. And every day I'm in nature. And there's like an entire different consciousness that I am experiencing, and I really feel the closeness of God, what we would call God. In that silence, and there's no achievement, nothing, it doesn't even resonate, but all of it is there. So that's why I just felt to share this video about achieving versus being, and whatever intake you have on that. And so here I am with not achieving anything, just being and just sharing this moment with you. Nowhere to go other than this here right now. So that's all I have for you. It's so nice to see you, Angela, here. And of course, Dimitri's and Carly. So nice to see you here. And I'll be doing more videos because whenever I feel like it, I'm just going to come on. And that's it. Nothing else done here. Because I'm recognizing there's so much energy invested in achieving. And then there's this arousal, then at least I would rush off to another achievement. And this is a complete opposition of that. How interesting it is. Angela, while I was writing it, love how that worked. Miss you. Thank you. Miss you too. Michael and I will be doing some videos together. We are going to be changing the name Ascension Alchemists. Here's another thing that has happened. In this beingness, I discovered the word ascension doesn't even resonate anymore. Demetrius, you might like this one. I feel that energy of ascension was so much around achieving, and it could put me in future. And something just claps with that. I don't even resonate anymore with that word at all. So we'll be changing Ascension Alchemists to something alchemist. It's still the alchemist, but something that resonates. We already feel, we know what that is. And no word the word ascension at all. Anyway, so much love to all of you. Have a beautiful Friday. Thank you so much for being on today. When the video is finished, I'll post it on my HoniB Borden author, speaker, healer page. And I love this YouTube channel so much more. Angela, much love to you. Angela, write how you've been. Demetrius, write how you've been. And whoever is on, just write a little bit here. How you've been? And I will read your comments later. And if this video resonates with you, please give it a like. Thumbs up when it's finished on this YouTube. And write a comment on the YouTube. That will be really helpful. Have a beautiful day, everyone. So much love. And thank you again for joining with me.